resolved tomorrow.
It is 5:30, and welcome to the City Council meeting of Thursday, September 18th, 2025. The Opens Meeting Act is posted on the east wall of the council chambers, and a notice of this meeting was published in the York News Times on September 11th, 2025. If you would, please stand and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amanda, the roll call, please.
Piper.
Here.
McGregor.
Here.
Northrup. North.
Here.
Shepherd. Here. Postier.
Here.
Wilkinson.
Here.
Van Esch.
You were all sent the minutes of the September 4th, 2025 budget hearing meeting. I need a motion and a second for approval of those minutes.
I move for approval.
A motion and a second, Amanda.
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
And then we had the minutes of the September 4th, 2025 regular council meeting. Were there any additions or corrections to those minutes?
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second, Amanda.
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Next are claims of elected officials.
We do have two claims of elected officials. First is Tony North of North Printing and Office Supply in the amount of $738.59. I move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second, Amanda.
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Abstain.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes. Second, we have Stephen Postier as a business affiliation with the York County Health Coalition in the amount of $25. I move for approval.
Second.
Amanda.
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Abstain.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Our next agenda item are the claims for the period of September 5th through September 18th, 2025. Are there any questions of the Finance Committee?
The Finance Committee did meet yesterday, and I do move for approval for the claims for the period of September 5th through September 18th, 2025.
Second.
Motion and a second. Amanda.
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
You were all sent the department activity reports for the month of August 2025. Are there any questions on those? We have almost everyone here that can answer those questions.
I move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second, Amanda.
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
And then we need to consider approval of the cash balances for the month of August 2025.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second, Amanda.
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Our next agenda item is the city administrator report. Dr. Crawford.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. We had great conversations last week for our comprehensive plan update, including many of the students who are here tonight with us again. They had great conversations about the different topics like housing and parks and community image and those same topics that were discussed in other settings. We also had a great conversation with some New York University students, and we had public sessions here and some conversations at Corteva. So we had conversations in different places in the community. The consultants are taking those results from those conversations and the results from the survey and the polls are on the website and pulling those together. Also right now they are organizing stakeholder conversation about updates to the goals from last time. So if you go to the website, you'll be able to look at the last comprehensive plan and see what those goals were. That was the starting point for the stakeholder group to talk about which of those still apply and which of them, what do we need to add. And we also worked as a city staff to identify the goals that we had met. And so that will be part of the discussion as well. And then that is in November. And we post these, we publish them as meetings and also on our calendar, which is on the front page of our website. You can see that date there for the stakeholders meeting as the next public meeting on this process. The map is still up and running. So the survey has closed, but the map that you can post comments on is still there, and there's still one last poll that's open through the end of this month. And that is big picture planning questions. So we're letting you get all prepared for this last poll. So get back on and take this last poll, make one last check of the map and comments, and so that you can get all of that to our consultants by the end of this month. That's your homework.
Any other questions, Dr. Crawford?
It's just been a great process.
Yeah, I think that it's been great, so very good. Thank you very much. Our next agenda item is consider approval of 3 special designated license applications for blended distilling for tasting and sales events located at Curtsy's Clothing and Gift Boutique, 723 North Lincoln Avenue, New York, for the dates of October 22nd, November 22nd, and December 22nd, all of this year. You're at the microphone. If you would, please state your name and address for the record, and you can just kind of tell us what you're doing.
Perfect. Derek Keller, 1418 Road Inn, York, Nebraska, 68467. As you mentioned, October 22nd, November 22nd, and December 22nd, Curtsy's Boutique is wanting to do kind of a holiday gift thing. With that, they want basically a liquor license to be able to carry some of my drinks, and I can sell some of my products at their location. It'd just be kind of a small, low gathering, except for I think November 22nd, they're looking at having a couple more vendors in there, making more of a Thanksgiving gift basket deal. So with that, I just need some approval for bringing that in, and kind of simple, not too much to this one, so.
Right. You've done quite a few of these.
Yes.
Yes. So, any questions while he's at the microphone from the council? I think you're getting off easy, so thanks for.
I know, right?
Yeah, appreciate you coming though. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Move for approval. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further comment? Amanda?
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Our next agenda item is consider approval of a special designated license application of the Elks BPO York Lodge 1024 for a parking lot party at 121 West 6th Street, York, for October 11, 2025. Please, if you would, come to the microphone and you state your name and address and just tell us what the Elks are up to.
My name is Rob Owens. I'm one of the officers for the Elks. Address is 121 West 6th. We're looking to have a tailgate party for one of the away games for the Huskers. Be the first one we've done, so we're trying to just kind of figure it out. We're going to have a cook-off from the officers and other members in the club that would like to have grills. If we would like to have an open bar in there, put some TVs up outside, and fence everything in. So it's we're kind of new to this, but we'd like to make sure that we're doing everything correctly. And we just want to offer other members of the community to come in and understand what the Elks are about, instead of just the members as well. So it would be open to the public event. We'd have a single gate entrance, so that we'd be able to keep track of it. But that's what we're looking for. Want to be more in the community.
Good. Questions? You have a pretty good fenced-in area and space to work with, and from what you've got, so expanding that, you should be able to contain that pretty well.
Yeah, we'll do the parking lot in that area, and then have a single entrance through the one of the drives, yeah.
Great.
That man.
Will it be 21 and over, or is it
Yes.
open to everyone?
It'll be open to everyone, but we will have a separate roll bar, and it will be ID for everybody that comes up, and we'll do wristbands. Yep.
Any other questions? Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
Have a great day.
I move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further comment? Amanda?
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Our next agenda item is consider approval to recommend to the state a premises change amendment for Paradise Properties 2 LLC, doing business as the Holiday Inn Express and Suites, 4020 Grand Avenue, York, Class 1 liquor license, 107234. Is there a representative of the applicant here tonight? Not seeing one. My understanding is they're trying to change this to a premise to include
The whole hotel.
the whole
All
hotel,
4 floors.
all 4 floors.
Yeah.
This was run by the chief of police, and he was okay with this request. I don't know if anyone has any further questions about it.
Sounds suitable. I'll move for approval.
Second.
Motion is second. Any further comments? Amanda?
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
And then the last of this little section of things is we need to consider approval to recommend to the state a manager change amendment of Shelley Lynn Strong of Walmart Inc., 350 101 East David Drive, York, Class D liquor license 066995. Is there a representative of this agenda item here tonight? Seeing no one, I think this is reasonably normal because they're having a manager change, that we need to recommend this change and it needs to be approved.
And the chief was okay with this one.
And the chief was also okay with this request.
Move for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second. Amanda?
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Our next agenda item is consider approval of a quote from McQueen for a 2026 sewer jet vac combination truck with or without the preventative maintenance, which would make the price either $452,399.22 or $94,399.22. So a difference of about, well, I guess exactly $42,000. So Chris, I heard you got the Lucky Strong get to talk to this one.
I guess. Chris Wise with the City of York. So the only difference in the two quotes there is the preventative maintenance program. And after meeting with the sales rep, Greg at Lincoln, currently we take our truck there for service. It's the same thing. It's right about $4,000 a year instead of the $7,000 that they want for the 6-year period. So by taking the preventative maintenance out of this, we would still be doing the preventative maintenance every year. We would just take our truck to Lincoln and they would do all that. So it would be roughly a savings of $2,000 to $3,000 each year instead of $42,000 up front.
So your recommendation is to go without, and also the salesman from McQueen's said that was probably the best thing to do also?
Yeah, since we already, we have a good working relationship with them. We take our truck down there in the morning and then they usually have it for a full day. And then we go pick it up the next day, usually after maintenance, so.
Well, obviously, we're not gaining anything, by having it, but is there anything to do with the warranty or anything on it that affects it or somehow?
No, because it's still the same guys that would be
Okay.
doing the preventative
Right.
maintenance out here. So.
Any other questions, Chris? This is something we talked about and had in the budget.
What was the number in the budget? I can't remember.
$495.
What was it?
$495. It was enough to cover that.
With the maintenance, but
Mm-hmm.
sounds like without it, we'd be saving some money,
That's
so.
right.
One thing about it then, without the maintenance paying now under one budget, you pay it out of every year's budget instead of one time, so it makes more sense as well. You're not gonna gain anything back.
I think if the salesman from McQueen's recommended it, it's probably,
Yeah, why would I take it?
I think.
He must not be getting much commission on it.
No, this would be a non-commissioned item.
Move for approval to go ahead with the quote without the preventative maintenance services for $452,399.22. Goodness.
Thank you.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion or comment? Amanda?
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Next agenda item is consider approval of a bid from Lincoln Creek Electric for the installation of electrical for the emergency generator at the auditorium in the amount of $39,650.60 using 2024 CDBG repurpose funds. James.
Yep, James with the City of York. It's been quite the process, working through this. Back in, I believe it was June, we had put it out to bid. We received one bid on that was close to $103,000 for the installation. That would have caused us to drop a few projects that we had planned for this repurposed money. So we republished it for bidding. We ended up receiving 2 bids. One of the bids from IES was approximately $91,000. And then we also received the bid from Lincoln Creek for the $39,650.60.
What's the difference in the prices? Why are two so high and one's way so low?
So, one thing that I noticed on the bids that were received was the man hours. One had over 500 man hours, and one had just right around 100 man hours. And one thing that I believe would be placement of the equipment. So since that building is on the National Registry of Historical Buildings, we had to, there's really only one good spot for that generator, and that would be on the northeast corner. But then when we rebid it out the second time, I had 2 options for the automatic transfer switch, which is darn near close the same size as the generator. It could be placed next to the generator or on the north side, kind of by the MPPD transformer that's there. So I gave those options, the same options to in that second RFP that we put out. So I can only imagine that it's wherever it's placed and running the electric.
Have you got anything to add?
Yeah.
Please, come on, you have anything to add?
I'm glad I know IES's number. I worked for them for 10 years.
Left a little on the table there,
You just made it fair.
Yes.
Well, the bids then, obviously, because they knew where the placement was closer to the input of the electricity, made a lot of difference in the bid, probably in the man hours, because they weren't sure where they were coming in from. They were gonna transfer all the way across the length of the building, that's been a lot different.
Yep, and so, yes, when we republished the second, I gave a map with those 2 different options on there.
Yeah. But they offer, I mean, a reputable firm, but is anybody, I mean, aren't they?
Yeah, you're right there.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, sorry, yes, so, yes, IES, I believe, is out of Lincoln, and Lincoln Creek Electric is based out of York, I believe. So those were the bids there, and
Well, I personally love this bid. After I saw the first one, so I'm very pleased.
You know, and with this whole project, you know, the purchase of the generator was a little bit more expensive than what we had thought it was originally gonna be, and yes, the electrical is a little bit more than what we thought it was gonna be, but we're still able to continue on with another project to use up this repurposed money.
Yeah, second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further comment? Amanda?
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
Our next agenda item is consider approval of a bid from Van Kirk Brothers Contracting for the 2025 4-inch water main replacement project in the amount of $1,564,585.74. Brandon, you got this one?
Sure do. Brandon, City of York. Yeah, we're asking for your approval on this water main project. We have budgeted like 1.8 for the project. We did reference checks on the 2 lowest bidders. Van Kirk's is not the lowest bidder. We had a few concerns on references for the lowest, so we're asking for your approval to go with the second lowest. There's approximately $13,000 difference, or 0.8%.
And the in your packet, you would have seen a recommendation from the engineer.
Yes,
to
engineer did
accept
all
this
the
bid.
reference, Terry Brown with Alpha Benish did all the reference checks,
Right.
calls.
We have some pretty good experience with Van Kirk.
We have had some success, so.
Yeah, we've done some pretty big projects with them, and I don't ever remember us having too much trouble working with them.
They did the downtown project with all that, and went out well.
I did notice it doesn't change anything, but they mentioned the city of Columbus in some of Benish's letters. I think it's a form letter they must have forgot to change to the city of York in a few places, so.
Unless they want to pay for it.
Yeah. I mean,
Any questions about this? This has been in, we put this in the budget. It ended up costing more than we thought, but it's really important
Yeah.
to get this
Something needs to be
done.
done, it's not gonna get any cheaper.
Might save the city crew a little winter work when these 4-inch old 4-inch mains are blowing up. all the
Yeah, this is one problem area there on Blackburn that we have a break about every winter, so.
On the
It'd be
coldest
nice
day.
to
Sometimes
get-
more than one.
Always the coldest day, right?
When are they starting?
I don't know for sure. We give them an option to, it's kind of split into two projects. There is a little bit on York Avenue, 6th to 9th, and then it'd be Blackburn, 10th to 14th, Elmer to Florida on 10th. So we got a couple different areas. If they want to start, do part of it this fall, if they're available. Otherwise, we were talking March with a finish date of September 30th.
Yeah, so per the contract, work was supposed to be completed prior to October of 2026.
Any other questions?
I move for approval.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Amanda?
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Postier. Wilkinson.
Yes.
Our next agenda item is MPPD Partnership Report, starring Craig Vincent. I can't just say with Craig. It's gotta be starring. The microphone is yours.
Good evening. Well, with that introduction, I am not here to ask you for any action tonight. I'm just here to give you information. But I am, pardon me, I am Craig Vincent with Nebraska Public Power District. My role in PPD is a retail account manager, so I work with communities and large commercial industrial customers, and I am your primary point of contact within PPD. I have a guest with me, our elected board member for NPPD representing this subdivision, Ron Mogul. I think you all know him, so I don't normally have this kind of esteemed company with me, so I'll have to bring my A game. I'm going to be speaking from this document tonight. It's in your packets and on the table in front of you, and there's some extra copies for the public on the table over here. So I would like to just give you an update about some things going on at NPPD, both as a whole and within the city of York, and some things to look forward to in 2026. As you probably recall, but I'll just review quickly, NPPD is a statewide utility. Our service territory covers 84 of 93 counties in the state. We generate electricity from power production facilities. We transmit it across the state and across the region, across high voltage transmission lines, and then we provide the retail distribution service to customers in 81 communities, over 94,000 customers, and York is one of those communities that we're very proud to serve and have served at retail since the 1940s. So we're very proud to be your partner for over a long period of time. The nature of our relationship, our contractual relationship, is that NPPD leases the city-owned electric distribution system under the terms of a long-term lease. We've had a series of those over the years. The most recent one was a 25-year lease agreement that went into effect January 1st of 2019. Under that lease agreement, you relinquish the electric system to us to operate as part of our statewide system. We do everything. Everything associated with the operation and maintenance and construction of the system. Our elected board sets rates and policies. We do the billings, we do the collections, we do the maintenance. If a storm comes through and blows it down, we pick it back up and put it together. As the community grows, we extend the electric system commensurate with that growth. So it's a turnkey operation, and in return, what City of York gets out of that lease agreement is a lease payment based on our adjusted gross revenue. Currently, under the existing contract, that is set at 12%, although that can change by an action of the council. So in 2024, that 12% amounted to $2,264,000 in lease payments that we remitted. We also, electricity is subject to sales tax, so we also collected city sales tax in the amount of almost $269,000. One thing that is unique about York is that this is the home of our operations center, which is our primary operations hub for the state of Nebraska. And majority of all the materials that go into our system, whether it be for maintenance or construction or reconstruction, all that material comes through York and is subject to city sales tax. So on purchases that we made, we paid $758,000 in city sales tax in 2024.
We appreciate that very, very much.
As you should. A couple of other fun facts. Well, let me back up to a lease payment. I've run some numbers and sort of tracked 2025, and for calendar 2025, I realize your fiscal year doesn't align with ours, but for calendar 2025, month to date through August, you're running about 20% ahead of last year on lease payment receipts. So, I mean, we've got a few months yet to go, but you're looking good so far. As a public utility, we are not subject to property tax, but in lieu of that, we do pay a statutory gross revenue tax that takes the place of property tax. And so by statute, that's 5% of the revenue we collect inside the corporate limits. And in 2024, that amounted to a little over $917,000 that was paid to York County, and then that flows back to you through whatever the funding formula is. Also, while we're talking about financial things, NPPD offers energy efficiency incentives to customers who implement various lighting upgrades or high efficiency air conditioning, heating systems in their homes and businesses. And in 2024, customers in York received a little over $81,000 in energy efficiency incentives. So customers here are making good use of that program. One of the things we have talked about in the past is the way that NPPD is trying to employ technology to improve how we do business, how we serve our customers, try to manage the system more effectively, more cost efficiently. Some of the things you have seen, some of the visible things you've seen have been the adoption of LED streetlight technology, which lowered your streetlight bills and also lowered our streetlight maintenance bills, which is a win-win for everyone. Some of the things you don't see are behind the scenes where we are doing a lot with, if you recall, a few years ago, we implemented electronic metering all across the state. So meters that we can communicate with electronically. So we're now capturing that data and we're learning how to manage all that data in our preventive maintenance programs. And we're using technology and using that new database to do things like identify transformers that are approaching their loading limit before they fail. Identify, in the case of outage scenarios, identify specifically where to send crews to a specific point instead of having them have to patrol an entire circuit. We're just in the very beginning stages of using drones to patrol lines so that we can see lines from the top instead of, we've always had an inspection program, but the drone technology allows us to look at things from the top instead of from the ground level, and it's a completely different view. We see a lot. And so we're also in the very infant stages of using AI then to try to go through those reams and reams of data from those visual aerial inspections to identify what constitutes a problem significant enough to to act on or how to prioritize those. So I say all that just to give you some examples of things that customers don't necessarily see, but things that we're doing to try to maintain high degree of reliance and cost effectiveness going into the future. As far as our generation part of our business, we have always felt it was very important to have a diversified portfolio of generation assets. And this little wheel chart at the bottom will show you where our energy comes from. But we unlike some utilities, we do not have all of our eggs in one basket. We have coal, we have nuclear, we have natural gas, we have wind, we have solar, and we have hydro. And we are currently 58.3% carbon free, which may not be important to some customers, but it's very important to others. So, and it's important. It's an important aspect of the diversity that we try to maintain. Second page, back page, really refers to what we talk about at NPPD as being our 3 R's: rates, reliability, and relationships. From a reliability standpoint, there was, in the last week or two, there was a news article that Nebraska as a state ranked #1 in the country in electric system reliability. And we're really proud of our contribution to that because our system reliability is best of class, and we measure ourselves against other utilities to prove that. From a pricing standpoint, we also, again, measure ourselves against other utilities through the Federal Energy Information Agency, where utilities are required to report base rate information. Again, you see the numbers in that chart at the bottom. We are significantly below the national average. We're also below the state average, and what they call I forgot the exact terminology, but it's basically the upper Midwest, which are the 6 surrounding states. We are extremely proud of the fact that we went for 11 years with no base rate increases from 1994 to 2024. I'm sorry, 2014 to 2024, or 94 came from. So pardon that mistake. But those 11 years we went out without a base rate increase. In 2025, costs, supply chain disruptions, all of those cost drivers started to catch up to us, and we had a 2% average increase in 2024. Or I'm sorry, in 2025. In 2026, we're anticipating an average 3% increase. It will be different for different classes of customers, but overall, we're planning for a 3% increase in 2026. From a relationship standpoint, the way that we interact with our customers is very important to us. Having the customers' trust and confidence and that sense of partnership with the communities that we serve is very important. And so in the bottom right-hand corner, you will see some of our strategic initiatives. Customer engagement is one of our top priorities. Another very large priority on our radar screen that you don't necessarily see on this handout, but you've probably heard about, and that is the unprecedented load growth that we're seeing in the state of Nebraska and really all across the country. That's coming. It's coming from data centers, AI-based businesses, but it's also coming from agricultural-related businesses. Green ammonia, hydrogen-related businesses, carbon capture at ethanol plants. We're seeing tremendous load growth that no one saw coming, that is outpacing the existing generation surpluses that we have. So we've begun an aggressive program to bring new generation online. The first of those projects has begun. We call it the Princeton Road Station. It will be almost just shy of 700 megawatt natural gas facility at the same site as our Sheldon station near Howell. That's anticipated to come online in 2029, 2030 timeframe. We've also begun the process of relicensing Cooper Nuclear Station for another 20 years. Cooper is an incredibly important resource to us because it is carbon-free and it's also dispatchable. When I say dispatchable, we control the fuel source, so we control how hard it runs at any given point in time, as opposed to renewables that are non-dispatchable. You can't control when the wind blows or the sun shines, so you take the energy when it's available. But with that new generation being added, we're well positioned to meet the growth that appears to be coming to the state. There will be a second round of generation added at our existing Beatrice Power Station that's a little further behind on the schedule, but plans are being made that if the load predictions continue as they are, we will be moving to bring those online in the early 2030s. So with that, I will be glad to answer any questions for you. I know I went over that pretty quickly. If you've been on the council for a long time, you remember my old PowerPoint presentations that didn't really go on forever, it just felt like that. So.
Are you guys looking at, I'm assuming, the modular nuclear?
We are.
What kind of timeline are we looking at from a realistic?
We were the recipient of a grant from the state of Nebraska to do a study, preliminary siting study for next generation nuclear, the small modular reactors. So we're in phase 2 of that right now. We've identified 16 potential locations across the state. This year, the plan is to reduce that down to about 4. And then do an in-depth study on the sites with the idea that the first small modular reactor in Nebraska would probably be in the mid-2030s. We think we're probably still 10 years out. We don't want to be early adopters of that new technology, but we also don't want to be behind the game. So we're trying to time our efforts to catch the industry as it matures.
Is there some potential investment from some of these data centers and AI companies investing in this to help speed that up, or?
Well, I read articles about Bill Gates is going to build his own small modular reactor to power his own data centers, and so certainly there could be something like that. We'll just have to see how the technology and the ownership structures progress. In Nebraska, under the current statutes, only a public power entity can sell power to customers. I apologize, I need to back up because there's one really important thing that I omitted. And it's your community solar facility. On the first page, I've noted it here in this bullet that the community solar facility is running well with over 7 million kilowatt hours generated last year, and that is sufficient energy with the way we have it structured. The city, the county, the school district, and one facility at York University take advantage of the cost savings from that solar output, and it's continuing to generate enough power to cover all of those users.
That's awesome.
Craig, on that future as well, I mean, obviously if these power plants are going to come on, the demand's going to go up. We're already seeing increased costs. Obviously, we could just plan on that happening until when, is there any pro forma that's going to really boost the cost in 5 years?
We do a 6-year rate track, but we can only talk about 2026 with any great degree of precision. We know that the debt service on those expenditures will be a cost driver going forward, but we are able to finance those projects over a 40-year bond cycle, and so we will have favorable financing, favorable debt service terms. And so there will be upward cost pressure, but I can't tell you. I mean, we're trying to manage those costs as well as we can to keep the incremental increases every year manageable. But also keep in mind that along with all that, there will be, the new users of that generation will be paying rates and helping to cover that cost. And contributing to the economies of the communities across the state where they exist. And York is positioning itself to be a home to one of those new businesses with your new industrial park.
Well, that was my question. Next question is, we're basically on hold till we get more power in some respects.
Oh, no, we're still moving forward. I don't want to.
But I mean, as far as being able to offer something large power, what power consumption.
Well, we have what we call a new load process in place. And so a large power user would, the process that they would follow is, they would come to the door, so to speak, and we would begin the process of vetting how serious they are. And there are financial deposits that have to be made that will be an indicator of their seriousness. And what we're trying to do is separate the serious inquiries from the tire kickers.
Okay.
And so as we go through that process, then once the financial deposits are made, there are some legal documents that will be entered into, a letter of intent and so forth. And then we will begin the process of studying what has to happen to serve that load. And so that involves internal NPPD studies, it involves Southwest Power Pool studies. But while all of that is happening, for a business this large, it's not something that any prospect is going to come in and start up in a month or two. So there will be a long construction period associated with the facility, at least those that we've interacted with so far. There'll be a long construction process. And so, what we're saying is it's probably about a 5-year lead time to get them all the power that they need. But that corresponds in most cases to the prospect's build-out timeframe.
Right. So there's things that I guess we're not completely on hold.
Oh, no, absolutely not. We're not.
That's good to know, because it kind of looking at that was leaning that way.
No, I'm sorry, I apologize if I conveyed that.
That wasn't for you.
But we're not on hold at all, I would say, not in any respect.
Okay.
We're continuing to take all comers, and if they're serious, we will find a way to serve.
The priority is obviously established.
It's kind of first come, first serve.
Yeah.
We're not going to spend resources developing a plan for a company that isn't willing to put down the financial deposits.
Yeah, makes sense.
The risk there is that we expend a lot of money on studies and interactions with Southwest Power Pool for a company that they have no skin in the game, and so they leave, and all of our existing ratepayers get stuck paying for that.
Well, the partnership with NPD has been very important to York for a long time, and we love the operations center here. But the other thing is, whenever we have a new business looking at York or anything else, he takes a phone call, and you guys are at the table, and that's great, and all the other things you provide. So just thanks for that.
We're glad to do it. Appreciate our relationship.
Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.
Always good to see you. Our last agenda item is ordinance number 2404 to authorize the sale and conveyance of certain real estate to the York Country Club. I happen to have a little bit of background knowledge in this one, so I'll just make a few statements about how this happened. And it's been about probably 10 years, and there was some verbal okay. The country club had to replace a bridge along number 6, which was along kind of where the old pool was, and that to replace it and put in a permanent kind of concrete bridge, it impeded onto the city's ground. That's been about 10 years ago. So the last couple of years, it's kind of been my point that we went ahead and conveyed that ground over to the country club so that the city did not have ownership of that bridge anymore that golf carts were on. When we did that, we squared off the property to its 1.77 acres is that we would convey over at a purchase price of $2,500. And so there would be no permanent structure there. But the club will use it for, they'll have some bunkers there and do some fencing and try and keep that, but they won't build on where the old swimming pool site is. But from a liability issue, we wanted to get this matter cleaned up. The city does have, it's all been surveyed. There's a couple of there's a water and a sewer easement that go across there that are identified. So the city will always have access to those. And like I said, there's no permanent structure that's going to be built on it.
And currently there's some stuff there.
Well, there were 2 trees that the club cut down that were actually, well, are still on city property because we don't own it yet, or the club doesn't own it yet. But then they've had a few other things there that I've kind of told them they have to keep clean, and then, so they're gonna add some more levels to that bunker. And then they're also gonna do some fencing to contain that stuff, so it'll look okay. So if you're so inclined, we would need to suspend the rules on this ordinance.
Move to suspend the rules for ordinance 2404.
Second.
I have a motion and a second, Amanda.
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd. Yes. Postier. Yes. Wilkinson.
Yes.
And then we would have passage of ordinance number 2404.
Move for passage of ordinance 2404.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Amanda.
Piper.
Yes.
McGregor.
Yes.
North.
Yes.
Shepherd.
Yes.
Postier.
Yes.
Wilkinson.
Yes.
That brings us to the end of our agenda tonight. You guys got it easy. It didn't even last an hour. And we are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.